Hey YouTube, Mary Mayhem here. Today we're going to go ahead and pull motor off this guy. Well, providing we have enough time, because I am kind of in a time crunch. But we're going to see if we can't go ahead and get this guy cleaned, pulled off, cleaned up, and get it to where we can start tearing it apart in our later video. So, more to come, guys. We're going to take this hood off. It's going to be a 1/2 inch and a 9/16. Going to be using the impact. Save us a little bit of time. You might be able to see it from that side. Easy peasy, government cheesy. Now this one is kind of secluded, hidden away. Alright guys, now we're going down, and as you can see, hopefully you can see it, I've got it placed correctly. I'm going to take that pulley off, and that's going to be a 5/8 I believe, and I can't remember how big that pulley is. 4 inch, something like that. We'll take a look at it. More to come. Okay guys, we're able to get the pulley loosened, and going to get a little bit more slack out of this belt. We'll be able to take it off from around this pulley, and then we will be able to drop that off. So, pulley's coming off in just a second. Guys, now more back. I want to show you. This is a pulley. This is one I cut and made. This is actually a 4.5 inch for just a regular Briggs and Stratton shaft, but 4.5 from outside to outside. But the way the belt rides, you can see that you can start measuring like from down in there to the other side as well, and you can kind of see the discoloration on it on the inside as well. So this was a 4 inch, and then on the inside, on the back, there we go, I've got a 4 inch pulley as well on that 820, which is the one that's been rod rom locked, solid axle with a kit. And for those of you who are interested, this is all of his information. Good stuff. I hold it up here for a second or two more. This is where I get all my 820 work done, and he's really good and really nice guy too. I've talked to him on the phone once or twice. So more to come. Okay guys, now what we're going to do is going to disconnect the fuel line, take the linkage off, and then unbolt it, pick it up and set it off. I'll get us a little cradle to set this motor in so we can kind of clean it up, start pulling it apart, and start working on it. Get ready to get shipped out to Prankster Man. He's going to be doing all the head work for me, and he's got some really cool builds. You have to look at his tank. You got to go. PRANCSTAMAN on YouTube, and you'll see the tank. It's in the ATLTF build off, so another shameless plug there. But what we're going to do, one of the things I will mention on this one is I do not have a fuel pump on this one, even though I have the carburetor and everything set up. This fuel pump, the gas tank was sitting up high enough to where didn't really need a fuel pump for it. That being said, I know I'm getting low on gas when it starts to do a little bit of sputtering and everything like that, because the fuel pump really is good as far as keeping a level amount inside the carburetor. On kudzu, one of the nice things I can do the really steep rides and crawls is because it has a fuel pump on it, and so there is no starvation. Fuel's really not sloshing around. It's a nice steady pulse of fuel going into the bowl and keeping everything top. But going to get started. More and who should come up but the filth spreader, Edward. Damn cat, you're disgusting. Get a job. I think he voted for Obama. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and mark these linkage placements. It's just something I always do to make it easier for me. Fuel line's already separated, and I'm going to get these guys. One thing I love about these, and I'll continue on I always get off of the subject. This right here, these carburetors do not flood. They have that little overflow drain, so if the float or the needle sticks, it just drains. And although you will lose gas, doesn't mess up the engine. I love that on these things, these 16V twins on these carburetors. So we're going to mark these with a Sharpie so we'll know where to put them back onto, and more to come. Okay guys, got this right here, and you can see the top one is for the choke. And I made a line right here so I'd know. The bottom one here is for the throttle, and choke is on top, throttle is on the bottom. You might be able to see in that little nook, and it's going to go back on this. You can't see it on this linkage. It's going to go back on the top for the throttle. So now I'm going to take the bolts off. I do this as much for myself as for recording and putting on YouTube, because now I've got it recorded of what I did. Well, there you have it. Done and done. There's the motor sitting over there in the corner. Later on I'll clean it up, start tearing it apart. But we're going to wrap this video up here. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for all the shares as well. All my Googlers. Take a look at Southern Off-Road Mowers on Facebook. And be sure and look up Pranksta Man, Pranksta Man on YouTube. And look at the tank. Y'all gonna make some mayhem.